Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason, I'm your watch guy today. One of the biggest trends, or one of the biggest selling trends in watches this year, or so far, with only about 13 days in, is Tiffany blue dials. And that's all thanks to this Patek Nautilus. Now, Tiffany collaborated with Patek Philippe to make these watches in this specific dial colour. And one of them sold at auction, I think it was for something stupid like 5.6 million. I mean, if I had 5.6 million, I would definitely 100% not be buying one of those watches. I can tell you that much. I'd buy a collection, then I'd buy a house, and then I'd buy a Ferrari, and maybe a Porsche to go with it, and maybe like a Range Rover or something for the weekends, holiday home. I mean, yeah, that one's pretty far down the list, to be fair, if I had 5.6 mil in the bank. Now, as well as that, the Oyster Perpetual that Rolex released last year, the one that everyone had an opinion on, everyone said was a terrible release, that they're not the big fan of these colours, and I was saying at the time, but they're nice, and they're different, and this isn't a Rolex type of thing, this isn't a Rolex. So basically I said they were really great, and now everyone else thinks that they're really great. So yeah, everyone came around to them, didn't they? That's a mad one. But the Perpetual in Tiffany blue, or Lux Tiffany blue, has shot up in price. It's selling for almost 10 times retail now. And yeah, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Now on this channel, we do not concentrate on those watches, those completely out of this world priced watches. We focus on the everyman budget market. So today I am going to show you 3 watches that you can pick up on Aliexpress with a Tiffany blue dial. 3 Tiffany blue watches that you can pick up on a very reasonable budget. And actually, I have one on wrist right now, and it's gorgeous. So, without further ado, let me turn this camera around and let's start the video. So guys, here we are. 3 examples of Aliexpress's finest Tiffany blue dial watches. Now we're going to start with the cheapest and move our way to the most expensive here. So let's take these 2 out of the way. Some would actually argue that this is probably the best of the bunch. Now I've only just got this in, and I will be doing a review of it because, well, it's absolutely fantastic. This is another example of me doubting other reviews or other reviewers and how they hype a watch, because this one was pretty well hyped before I picked it up, and well, it's lived up to it. In fact, it's even better than what I expected. The finishing on this is absolutely fantastic. This is the Escapement time. I think we've settled on King Seiko homage. It has a Tiffany blue dial. This also comes in other dial options. You can pick this up on the Escapement time official store. It's packed with a VH31 movement, and that's why you'll see 4 ticks between a second. So it gives it more of an automatic type of sweep, instead of that quartz ticking that you usually do get. The dial is absolutely beautiful, and it is also on this sky blue leather strap. Now, you'll be amazed with the price of this one. It actually comes in as cheap as, right now, £59.71. It's got a screw down crown, excellent nailing, signed crown also. The finish on this watch is absolutely fantastic, and it's what I'd expect of £100 plus watches, to be honest. I don't get £100 Seikos with this type of finishing. It's absolutely beautiful. Really nice thin profile too. This is the perfect dress style watch. Now I have tried to separate this up into dress, sport and dive style pieces. This is our dress style piece, no loom on this one, although very lovely polished indices throughout the dial. Absolutely gorgeous watch, and there's a reason that people go on about this one so much and why they like it so much. It's absolutely beautiful in person. Definitely better than I expected. Also comes in a very nice yellow dial, a minion style dial. Yeah, very impressed by this one. I can't wait to review it for you guys and show you how absolutely fantastic it is. But for now, this is the dress portion of our Tiffany blue roundup. Absolutely beautiful dial here. I think this one could really go well on a black leather strap also. Maybe tone down the strap a little bit and really pronounce that dial. Definitely a nice dress wear. Now we move to the sports watch section of this roundup, and we have the Pagani design Oyster Perpetual Homage. Let me just move the handset on this one. There's one thing that is certain to make me proud as a reviewer, and that's when a company really listens to my suggestions. And Pagani Design did that here, and I can't tell you how happy I was when I saw these watches release for the version 2. The version 1 came out with a date window on the side here, and it was all high polish throughout. I suggested that they gave the upper lugs a brushed effect like you see on the actual OPs, and go with the bright Oyster Perpetual dial colours. They actually asked me which ones in particular, and I said the Tiffany blue and the yellow will be perfect, and look at this. They also do have the yellow too, so that's a nice touch. I also said get rid of the date window, and yeah, here we have it. It is still an NH35 movement, so you do have a ghost position for the date on here, but that never really bothers me personally. It has the usual Oyster style bracelet and the Pagani design Rolex homage clasp. We have a signed case back on this one, screw down case back. Now usually you see the display case backs on Pagani designs, but they've moved to this more design elemented case back recently, and I think that's a really good shift. This one is a Explorer style case back with the mountain range in the background there, and we have the usual information around the outer edge too. This is a screw down crown, it's signed, and it has a good level of grip on it. We have applied indices throughout, and they really do accent that blue dial very well. Black printed logo at the 12 o'clock, black printed minute track around the outer edge. I still do not know what this PT time stands for. I don't know what that means. If anyone can enlighten me, I would be very grateful. 200 meters of water resistance, and if you pick this up today, you would pay £73.63. This one has actually been sent to me for free by the Pagani Design wristwatch store on Aliexpress, and I have linked them in the description. All of these watches are linked in the description. They are all affiliate links also. If you use that, I get a little bit of a kickback. You don't pay any extra though. I think this is probably one of my favourite releases from Pagani Design recently. NH35 movement in the back of it, really nice finishing throughout the watch, and it's simple, but it does everything correct. You know, there's no massive complaint from me. I'm sure the loom could probably do with a little bit of extra layers. That is just what we expect from Pagani Design these days, but everything else I just think they've nailed, to be honest. The NH35 movement makes it slightly thicker than I may have liked, but aside from that, they've nailed this one. It's a fantastic release, and I definitely think it's worth that £73 of anyone's money, to be honest. Absolutely beautiful watch. Can't wait to review this one too. I'm going to do a side-to-side comparison with the old model just to show you how much this one's come along, but we'll save that for another day. Moving along to our final and most expensive piece in this roundup. This is the Tactical Frog Doxa 300T Homage. Fantastic watch in terms of the design element. Well, we owe that to Doxa, but a very nice idea to put these out. These were probably one of the first ones on the market. Obviously, we do have the C-Stern now, and we also have a release from Fawn too, which I actually have in for review. So the market is becoming more competitive for these watches, but the first one of these that came out was actually a really nice addition to the market. Bezel action on it is fantastic. The real issue was that the inner bezel does not move with the outer bezel on this. Now, they have fixed that in the V2, I believe. I haven't actually seen a V2 in person, so maybe look for a review of one of those before you pick this up. Now, there is a faux beads of rice bracelet on this one. As you can see, these aren't independent links. They are linked to the upper link there. We do have a screw down crown. It is signed with the Tactical Frog logo. The black, really bold black handset on this works very well for me, but I do wish that they would have matched the outer edge of the indices with that bold black. You can see above the 6 o'clock Tactical Frog Divers 200 meter automatic. This one is also packed with the NH35 movement. We have the Tactical Frog logo etched into the back of this case back. Here's a screw down case back, as you'd expect on a dive style watch. Usual other specifications from this. We have a milled clasp, only 3 levels of micro adjust, unfortunately, screw down case back. This is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. I'm hoping that they stuck with the unidirectional 120 click on the version 2. Very tight fit to this bezel, which is really nice to see. Gives you a little feel of quality in there. We have good levels of grip on the crown. The steel bezel here is accented really nice with a Tiffany blue tachymeter scale. Overall, I think this watch is really nice and it's really well built. It's 127.76 on the Heimdallr watch store on Aliexpress. I've linked them below also. One thing that I would have preferred is that they didn't put so many levels of anti-reflective coating on this, because it does really affect how you see the watch in certain lights. Otherwise, I think it's a very well thought out piece and it's very well finished also. So I can only imagine the version 2 is even better than this one. And hopefully they have fixed plenty of the issues that was with this one. So it is a viable option now with that dive bezel. As I mentioned, the link is in the description for that if you wanted to pick one of these up, as are the other 2. Out of the 3, I think I've really just got to give it to the Escapement Time for the price. I understand that it's a quartz watch, but the finishing on this watch, the levels of finishing to this watch is just insane for the price. For now sub £60, it's an incredible offering. Definitely give them a look. If you haven't got one of these in your collection, definitely worth a spot in anyone's box, to be fair. Beautiful piece. So out of the 3 of the watches, guys, I would definitely advise you to pick up the Escapement Time Seiko homage. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The finishing on it is just incredible for £60. And you don't understand it until it's in hand. Genuinely, you don't get the quality until you see it in person, like I have today. I think it really changed my mind about that watch. I kind of hoped that I was right about it, to be honest. I thought, it can't be that good for that price, but seriously, Escapement Time have done something very special with that watch, and I can see why it's so popular now. Also, if you wanted a more sporty vibe, then the Pagani Designer is a great option. Divers, Tactical Frog, great option. Now, there are other watches on Aliexpress with that Tiffany blue dial, as there are in the watch market now. It's becoming a very popular option, and I can only see us getting more options for it throughout the year. Now, if you wanted to pick any of these up, I have the links in the description. They are affiliate links. It really does help out the channel when you use them. All 3 of them will be featured in a future video. I have the Pagani Design to review and compare to the last model. The Escapement Time will get its own review, and the Doxa homage will be in a trio of Doxa homages for a comparison. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. That Doxa homage is actually, the Tactical Frog is actually on loan from a subscriber of the channel, Brian, and he's been very, very nice to me, lending that to me for such a long period of time. I really do appreciate that, Brian. I hope you've enjoyed today's video, guys. I thought it'd be something a little bit different to the usual. Thank you for watching this. Please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next one.